It started with a text that lit up my phone like a bomb. Just married my coworker in Vegas. You're pathetic, BTW. Attached was a photo, her in a cheap white cocktail dress, him in a rumpled suit, neon chapel hearts glowing behind them, champagne flutes raised in mockery. I stared at it for a minute, the words sinking in like acid. Hannah, my wife of 4 years, had finally dropped the mask. I replied with one word: cool. Then I blocked her number and got to work. I'm Liam Gerard, 32, a cybersecurity analyst in San Francisco. I met Hannah in grad school, psychology majors both. She was vivacious, with a laugh that could disarm anyone, sharp wit that made her the center of every room. I was the steady one, the guy who listened more than spoke, who found joy in quiet evenings and strategy games. She said she loved my calm, how I was still when angry, like it was a superpower. I taught her chess. She beat me once, then quit. Winning's the point, she said. We married young, bought a cozy Victorian house in the Mission District, dreamed of kids and travel. But cracks appeared early. Her late meetings, girls' weekends that stretched into work retreats. Her phone suddenly password protected. I saw the shift. She stopped making coffee for me. Her eyes wandered in conversations. Her affection turned routine, like she was biding time. The last week, she hummed while packing for her conference, her excitement palpable. I knew then, but I didn't confront. Instead, I prepared. Logged her disappearances, receipts for unexplained charges, timestamps of her overnights. I reported nothing yet. I waited for her to make the move. When that Vegas text came, I was ready. Cool wasn't surrender, it was the starting gun. I froze everything. Joint debit and credit cards, blocked. Shared brokerage account, frozen with a fraud alert. Cloud access, revoked, her devices logged out remotely. Insurance, her name removed. I changed the house locks, updated the security system codes, and reported potential identity theft to the bank, citing her sudden marriage as evidence of abandonment. Her world went dark in minutes. By morning, as she celebrated her new life, her cards would decline, her accounts would scream error. I didn't sleep much that night, but when I did, it was peaceful. The next morning at 6:12 a.m., 3 sharp knocks rattled the door. Police. I stood in my robe, coffee in hand, and opened it. 2 officers, one male, mid-40s, stern with a mustache, one female, younger, sharp-eyed, stood on my porch, badges glinting in the dawn light. "Mr. Gerard?" the male said. I nodded. "We need to ask about a report filed in Las Vegas." I sipped my coffee. About my wife? Or ex-wife, I suppose. They exchanged glances. She claims financial abuse. You've locked her out of joint accounts. I smiled faintly. "Come in, officers. Coffee?" We sat in the living room, where Hannah's absence was already palpable. Her favorite throw blanket folded away, her books boxed in the hall. I explained calmly, "We're California residents. Joint accounts fall under state law. She abandoned the marriage, married another man without divorce. I secured my assets to prevent fraud." The female officer leaned forward. "She says you're retaliating." I pulled up my phone, showing the Vegas text and photo. She announced her new marriage. I replied, "Cool," and protected myself. They noted it down. I walked them through the timeline, her late nights, the signs of cheating, my logs of unauthorized charges on joint funds, gifts for him, hotel stays, flights. "I reported fraud to the bank yesterday," I said, handing over copies. "Her marriage voids her claim to marital property without a court order." The male officer rubbed his chin. "She didn't mention a prenup." "She wouldn't," I replied. "Our prenup, signed 4 years ago, protected premarital assets and penalized infidelity. I'd reported her actions as breaches, triggering clauses that favored me in division." As they left, the female officer paused. "Smart moves, Mr. Gerard. We'll follow up." Hannah's unraveling began immediately. She'd tried checking into the Wynn, denied. Caesars, declined. By midnight, her frantic calls to friends went unanswered. I'd seen the logs. 3 days later, she showed up on my doorstep, makeup smeared, her new husband cowering in his car. She pounded the door. "Liam, let me in! This is insane!" I watched via the camera app, sipping tea. She ranted, called me every name, kicked the door. My neighbor, a retired cop, yelled, "Police are coming!" She fled, but not before I activated the sprinklers, her mascara running like ink. The annulment was denied. Marrying while still legally bound complicated things, especially with fraud reports. Her husband bailed after 10 days, likely when the debt collectors called. I got full house ownership. She got served papers from creditors and a bank fraud investigation. Her social media spiral was pathetic, posts calling me abusive, begging for sympathy. But evidence leaked, her texts mocking me as boring, bragging about cheating with her boss for a year. Friends distanced, her job fired her for conduct unbecoming. Late nights, I still hear her voice, but it's faint now. Revenge wasn't rage, it was restraint. Pain fades, but silence echoes. And when wielded right, it haunts forever. I'm rebuilding. New hobbies, therapy, a life without her shadow. Hannah? She's facing court, her charm useless against the truth I documented. Sometimes the best response is one word, cool, and letting actions speak the rest.